Hello my friends, my name is Tim Johnson. Well, it's been a very traumatic 2 weeks, and that's the reason that you've not seen or heard from me or I've made any videos over that period of time. For those of you who follow the channel, you'll know that for sort of over 3 months now I've been struggling to get back to my home in Spain. Because of the travel restrictions around COVID, Spain put some heavy restrictions in, which meant I couldn't get back. I was very blessed during that period of time because I got to spend quality time with my family in a beautiful part of the UK, to build a beautiful, strong bond and relationship with my granddaughter. So you probably think there's, what's wrong with you, mate? You've got all that, you're back in your home. But it's been a traumatic couple of weeks, and I want to share with you now a couple of very powerful lessons I've learned. Because I've been doing this now for a long time, and I preach on this channel about staying sober and about mind control and fitness and health and all the rest of the things. But sometimes I ignore my own advice, because we all often, and it doesn't really matter, you could be watching this with 2 days sobriety, you could be watching this with 20 years sobriety, but you're always that far away from relapsing if you don't be careful and watch what you're doing and be the watcher of your thoughts. I was being pushed and pulled in many different directions, because I was loving spending time in England with my family. I was loving that bond I was making with my granddaughter. But at the same time, I love my home here in Spain. And I was missing dreadfully being here and being in my routine and, and all the rest of it. And in amongst all that, there was the stress and trauma of the actual travel itself. Would I get into Spain? Because believe you me, that was a traumatic journey, and I was worrying all around that. So about a month before I travelled back, the relapse had happened in my mind, and I relapsed as I got back, and fortunately it was a very short relapse, and something I really never want to go through again, because without any exaggeration at all, I nearly died over that week of madness, and I never want to go through that again. And I think I've learned more than any other time, because a year ago, I did the same thing happened to me, and I thought I'd learned lessons from that, but I hadn't learned the right lessons, I don't think. Now here's the lessons I've learned I want to share with you. Because I don't care, like I say, how much sobriety you've got. Mental health's very fragile, and if you don't watch your thoughts and if you don't be careful, and you'll have relapsed in your head and become obsessed, and before you know it, you'll have actually physically relapsed, or you'll have gone down some very dark paths with depression and all the rest of it. And it doesn't matter how happy you think you are at the time. This is all going on subconsciously a lot of the time. So the first thing I learned, which saved my life, I think, was total honesty. And a lot of you will know that anyway. And I was, as soon as it really happened to me, and as soon as it got a grip on me again, and it always convinces you that it won't get a grip on you, but, within a couple of days, it's escalated to much worse than it was ever before. And, it's a frightening, dark, horrible place to be. So, although it was difficult, because a lot of people, my family who I love so much, although you feel you've let them down, and you've let yourself down, you feel ashamed and all the rest of it, it's so important to be totally honest and upfront straight away. Make yourself accountable. Talk to them. Tell them what's happened. Be honest. Because immediately you're honest, you can turn the corner. And it's bloody difficult, especially when it gets a grip on you, as anyone out there knows who's been there. But once you express that honesty, and I'll let them all know as soon as it happened, you know, you can turn the corner and you can get back to where you belong and get strong again. The second lesson, which is so important, I think, you know, more than any lesson I've learned before, is to start to talk to people as soon as you know your head's going, as soon as you know your mind is going, and so it doesn't drag you down and you're in that dark place. Talk to those you love. You know, as soon as you start feeling these dark feelings, as soon as your mind starts obsessing over things and you start thinking, I may drink or use again, talk to those you love. And if you don't want to talk to those you love, talk to like-minded people, like-minded groups, whatever you can do. Share that load. Because, you know, if you don't, you know, you could die. You know, I'm not going to be any more blunt than that, because I thought I was going to die this time. I really did. I was that sick. It was for 3-4 days, but, you know, it was a horrible place. You know, and this all happened in a matter of days, but it had happened in my head a month before. You know, there's no doubt about that. So total honesty, sharing your thoughts with people, lightening the load, lightening the burden. These things are so important. And don't forget shame. Forget, because, you know, there are lessons to be learned, and it happens to people with 2 years, 20 years, you know, it doesn't matter. Talk, open up, share the experience, you know, your experience with people, and it'll lighten the load so much, so you don't go down that dark path. And as I always say on the channel, be the watcher of your thoughts, because these things are all going on behind the scenes subconsciously, and you know they're happening. I did. I now recognise they were happening, but failed to be honest with my family, my friends, failed to be honest with myself, which even more important, you know, because you go into this deniability mode, and you know. Anyway, the good news is that you know, I'm a week without any substances. I'm feeling great again. You know, everything's back to normal here in Spain, and I'm back into a good routine again. And I truly think that these lessons I've learnt this time, not only did they save my life, but I think you know, that it's the end of it. But I never ever want to go and feel that sick again. You know, I definitely don't. You know, please don't be ashamed. Please don't feel regret or remorse, because it happens to the best of us, and you can save yourself all that shit without, you know, just by talking a lot of the time. And we're all in tough situations at the moment. You know, many people much more tough situations than I was in. I was blessed, and it still happened to me. So I just wanted to share that experience with you, and say that I'll be back up to making my weekly videos again. And I please hope you'll follow. I'm always open and honest, wherever, all the time, whenever I make these things, and I speak from the heart. I very rarely sit down and plan anything I have to say. Anyway, please subscribe, please share, please like the videos. It just means that perhaps more people will see them, and they'll help more people. And the motto of this channel is Carpe Diem, seize the day today. Please let this be the day you change your life. And if you're feeling low, talk, share the burden, and it'll save your life. There's no question about it. Much love to you. Speak to you next time. Bye-bye.